Hi.
Hello.
My drink. It's probably not very professional, huh?
Hey, it looks really classy.
It's not alcoholic. It's water. Sure, Tony. You want to tell
I
them
like
what we're
it.
going to talk about today?
Well, yeah, today we've got some questions that got submitted to us. So we are going to answer these, hopefully.
We do answer questions. We don't read comments.
That's right. That's right.
There's a difference if people are wondering, right?
Yeah, and we like the questions. We encourage them. So
yeah, and we answer them on Wizio if you want to have more time with us, but these are just quick ones that we wanted to answer on here.
Mm-hmm. And they're all kind of along the same vein for the most part, so that's good.
Yeah, this is kind of part 2 of relationship couple weeks, right? So
So I think you got a couple more than I do. So why don't you start?
all right. How do I keep my boyfriend happy and still be myself?
Yeah. So somebody asked that in relation to our last podcast, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Because we're pushing boundaries, right? We're talking about making, if you haven't seen it, go to our Facebook page. I posted a few little memes there that no one's really commenting on them, but I'm guessing the men are liking them and we're annoying some women maybe.
Don't worry, the men and women will switch soon.
They will.
Yeah. So good question. What was it? Without losing
myself. So
how do you make your man happy?
How to keep my boyfriend happy and not lose myself.
And not lose yourself. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's Tony and I were talking about this last night, actually, to a certain degree. And I think it really comes down to knowing yourself, you getting familiar with yourself enough to the point where you're confident in yourself so that you know when you're not losing yourself, more or less.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, what I just said? I hope.
I think so. And if they don't, maybe if you're asking it, you're already losing yourself a little bit, right?
That's right. Like I would say if you here's a really good rule of thumb. And I can share about this because I used to lose myself quite a bit.
There you go.
If you are starting to realize, if you're starting to lose your happiness and your sense of joy, it means you're losing yourself, right? So if you're doing things that don't, I mean, like, I hate to say such a cliche thing, but if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Exactly.
However, truly though, if you start to realize that, hey, my boyfriend really likes this if I dress this way, or a woman who expresses themselves this way, and you play around with that just to see, how it feels, and you start to realize that that does not feel good to you to be that way, and it does not make you happy, and you're tapping into your own sense of joy. I would say that's a really good indication that, maybe there's other things you can do to connect with your boyfriend on his level.
It's communication. It's what we always talk about, right?
Yes.
Also, it could be the other way around too. If the reason you're not doing it is what will other people think, watch that too. So if you think you might like to do it, and just because you're worried about what other people think, then you're still not going on your own radar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's again exactly what you're saying. You have to know yourself. What you've had the talk, you're listening to what he likes, and you want to try it. That's something different. I'm making this sound super sexual. I'm not just talking about that. It could be anything. What if it was something as simple as my boyfriend would really be super happy if every time he came home, I made him dinner. And everyone says, well, that's such a sexist role. But the way that works out is he always does dishes and you hate dishes, but that pleases him. Well, you have like, do you know what I mean? It's like, stop worrying about what other people think. If you're not losing yourself in it and it works with who you are, then you're not losing yourself. So be careful. It's not you're losing yourself because someone else might be frowning on it.
That's right.
So there's two sides, right?
That's true, because people often do express their opinions more or less directly and about the way we behave, and especially in relationships, right?
Yes.
So I find that if you're more susceptible to listening to other people and being influenced by other people's opinions, you're more susceptible to losing yourself,
I
right?
think so. And it really ties into the next one I got that says, if I dress the way he likes, does that not diminish me? So that's kind of tied in the same way, but they're specifically asking about dressing the way he likes. What do you think? If you dress the way your boyfriend wanted you to, does that diminish you?
Well, again, I can speak from personal experience in the past. I'm a person who's pretty open to experimentation on any level, right? And so that being said, if somebody's like, hey, you really look good in this, and it's out of my comfort zone, I'm willing to try it to see how it feels. And if, maybe a new part of you gets expressed by expressing something different.
Yeah.
Even just in your attire and your appearance, right? So that being said, if I don't feel comfortable in that, I'm not going to fucking continue that, right? So hence nothing gets diminished. I that's me though, and like we were talking about last night, every person is different. So my thing is, if you're used to wearing like leggings and like sweatpants, or sorry, leggings and like big baggy sweatshirts, I'm using that because you already brought that up before. But if you're used to dressing that way already, and you're like absolutely stick in the mud about it, and you're not wanting, and your boyfriend, partner, husband really like is attracted to sexiness and vivaciousness and maybe a little bit of like daring energy, and you really don't want to go there, again, it relates to what we were just talking about. Is it you who doesn't want to go there, or is it is it other people's opinions of you? Hence, what the fuck? Your parents? Are your mom? Is your mom speaking now, maybe? Or your dad, or your grandma, or maybe your friends, because they've all got a stick up their ass. And I'm not like being offensive here. I'm just putting it in harsh terms. But whose opinion is it? Because you've attracted a partner who's attracted to a certain type of woman or a certain type of energy. So why are you attracted? Why is there this bond between you and this person? Is it's like, I don't know. That's a whole deep topic in my opinion.
It is. I agree. So you'll have to look at that. And we're not saying he's trying to change you, blah, blah, blah. Or
No.
like, I won't date you unless you wear this. That's a whole other topic. But I do it. I dress the way my boyfriend likes me to dress because I enjoy it.
And do you feel diminished?
No, I feel sexy.
Is that the word that was used, diminished?
Yeah, and desired. And maybe it would be different if it was you must wear this, and if you don't wear it, I won't date you, and if you pick this, then but that's different, right? That's like, yeah. But I have definitely gone out of my comfort zone to wear things that I might not have worn before, that I'm like, oh yeah, I feel really great in that. I think it's and there's things I'll wear that I wear when I see him that I don't wear all the time, but I enjoy it. I think if it makes me happy to light him up.
Oh yeah.
right? And to tease and to be womanly and to be sexy. I like that. And sometimes I'll pick ones that I think he will like that for that reason. Because for me, if I'm going to pick a dress, I don't, if I hated what he liked, like per se, he liked only upper color lace, maybe I'd be like, okay, I'll wear it once in a while. I could do that, right? You could flip it. But I happen to like what he likes, even though that wasn't my style before. And now I'm noticing it's kind of what I pick, and I don't just wear it when he's around. But if that was the case, I don't have a problem with it. It it's the same reason why he would wear suspenders and a vest for me on a day, because I think it's super hot. Do I need him to wear that every day? No. But when he does, sweet, right?
Mhm.
To me, it's kind of like making their favorite meal.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want it every meal because you'll
No,
get sick of it.
right. But
Well, I have to
you happen
say,
to like the style.
yeah, and like realistically here, if you're too fixed, if you're too fixed on your self-expression, sorry, like the way you dress, because that was the question. If you're too fixed and unwilling to like experiment, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem with that, in without being wrong, is that it's a form of resistance to experiencing.
Oh,
Oh, God bless you, child.
thank you. It's spring.
It's a form of resistance to change, new experiences, and like that's a very outer symptom of perhaps deeper energy, right? Of like an unwillingness to kind of play around with stuff and move and like flow. And so I'm not at all like saying that you can't hold on to your personal expression, because I think that to each their own, right? Like I don't give a shit. If you want to keep doing what you're doing, that's cool. This is strictly about considering flow in the department of expressing more and experiencing change in your own personal life. Like play around with stuff, play around with it. If you're somebody who's very fixed and in the way I was, god damn it, like I still am to a certain degree. I've always had long blonde hair, right? Like, but the thing is if you play around with little pieces of self-expression, you're going to find that maybe new things work for you that you didn't even know because you were fixated on a certain appearance. So diminishing, no, I could see how it could go there, but I think there's deeper attachments there to other people's opinions, if that
And
makes sense.
sometimes it's down to size, but if you look at the red lipstick babes, we're slim and a little bit more not slim. And I don't have to wear, but I'm quite happy to dress sexy. And guess what? Men respond to that. That could be a whole nother discussion, but I would debate that men would choose baggy and boring over a little bit sexy. I think what men find sexy is confident women, right?
Yes, so I was gonna say that.
If you're like super into grunge and you can make that sexy for your man, I'm not saying that that's not going to be sexy, but there's a certain level of head turning that we know exists, right?
That's right. There's sexiness doesn't come in one form, right? Like you don't have to be all like hooker to be sexy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I know some really sexy babes in my life who just wear plain ass shit and they do it really well. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
it is an energy different if they dressed up with dresses and makeup and sexy clothes, do you think?
Yeah, I think you know, to everything there is a season, right? So try it out, play around with it.
Try it out. That probably leads us to your question.
It does, actually. My question was, how can I put woman, because it was, how can I dress / express more sexiness if I'm not used to it? And so that's a really good question, because again, I've had experience in this topic because because I am a little bit more voluptuous in certain areas. Yes, you know about this. I don't know if you've had problems with this, but I've like covered up a lot. I've like my posture, I would always kind of like hunch because I didn't want to like fucking put things in everyone's face, right? So I didn't want more attention from it.
Yeah.
So I often hid my femininity and I hid my sexiness because again, it was for other people's comfort. Hence, and then my comfort because of that, right? So you're probably used to doing that too.
Oh yeah, in high school it was the baggiest sweatshirt
Yeah.
to wear.
Totally. Like for me in elementary, high school, borderline there, I was pretty much the fourth fucking Beastie Boy. Like, because it's like I had boobs. So it's like, well, I gotta hide these.
Gotta hide it. Yep.
But so the question is, how can, if you're not used to being sexy and you maybe do want to try it out, how can you take steps towards expressing, and I'm going to underline this here, your own personal sense of sexiness, right? So yeah, I don't know, you want to start with that, or you want to answer that?
Yeah.
I know I kind of started, but you go for it.
I think it's just little steps, right? Or if you're not a little step person, then take a big step. If that's the only way that'll make it happen, you have to know yourself in that. But I know for me, even like with lipstick, especially red, it was just a matter of, at first I hated it, and then you try it, and then you try it, and then you put it on here. And if you think there's people around you that are going to comment on it, that's not when you wear it. You put it on and you go to the mall, and then you'll get comments on it. Or
that's a good idea.
If you're not used to wearing a dress, then this will sound funny, but like go to the thrift store and find one that you think sexy and do the same thing. Wear it around the house or wear it somewhere, or ask him. I'm going to guarantee you he's going to like it.
Yes.
Those little things, right? That are little steps. Or shock the shit out of him and get all dressed up and put on an outfit you think is sexy. And ask him, just like we were talking the other day, listen, hey, what do you happen to think sexy? And he's probably going to be worried because I've had this discussion with you and other people before, that men are scared to say now a lot of times, well, I wish you'd dress a little sexy, right? Because it's sexist or it's diminishing. And can you ask without getting offended about what you do wear, and just say, yeah, I really love whatever floral dresses. That's his thing. Well, could you go get one floral dress and wear it for a bit and see how you felt in it? It's little steps. Don't change everything. Just try something. Try it and own it. Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah. And, I think it comes back down to, I think the fear of expressing a new look or a little bit of sexiness when you're not used to it comes back down to other people's opinions, right? Around you. And
what will people think?
Exactly. And you know what? For me, it was even my partners, right? Because if I dated a lot of people, God love them. Like I have nothing against any of them. I dated a few people, a few dudes who were like concerned that they didn't want me showing off too much, right? Because it was like a control thing, right? And so that's fine.
Come work with us at our linktree.com site, www.linktr.ee/redlipstickbabes. Can't wait to see you there.
But so for me, it was sometimes even my man who it was like, oh, I'm afraid of what they'll think, right? So my suggestion for dealing with, that fear of expressing a new side of yourself and maybe a little bit of sexiness is to not even ask other people's opinions. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a thing too, because like your man's gonna think you look hot if you class it up a bit and show a little bit, you know what I mean? So don't even worry about anybody's opinions, and don't try and distance yourself from the expectation that somebody is going to have an opinion. Do you know what I mean? I know that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I think that
Well, it's almost the energy. You call that in if you're expecting it, right?
exactly. And I can speak, and I'm sure you can too. I can speak from total experience that when I first started going out, I go to a Buds on Broadway where I hang out and watch live music with my friends. And when I first started going there, I was very self-conscious of being too showy. So I would be too, like, even when I wore dresses and skirts, I would wear fucking shorts underneath them. it's like fine, but I'm at the point now where it's like, you know what? It's uncomfortable. We all have asses. We all have legs. We all have eyeballs. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you really just have to play around with it and get comfortable and like release the expectation that other people are going to be happy or not with it. Because, there's people around me who are like, you're too fucking much. And then there's people around me who are like, yeah, whatever you do is awesome. So you're never going to please people and you're never going to piss everyone off. You know what I mean? So it's really a matter of just playing around with it.
I think so. And if you're with a partner who you truly want to be with or you're attracting, then they're going to want to play around with that with you too. They're going to really be excited that you're even asking their opinion, right?
Oh yeah,
totally. So what if they tell you, hey, you know what, I like 4-inch stilettos? I'd be like, that's super cool, but I'll break my ankle because I haven't worn heels for whatever. But hey, how about a cute little this? Like, you can play around with it, and even that's going to shift the energy, the sexy energy, period, because you're a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I had a boyfriend once who was like, I like 4-inch heels. And it's like, I'm already way taller than you. This is like long time ago. And it's like, I'm like, sure, let's try it out, bitch. I can't walk in them. So you're gonna have to be there. I can rest my arm on you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's an
which is fun. You were willing to do it. You didn't wear them every day, all day to work and everything, right? But
no. And there's something to be said too about the sexiest thing, and I'm speaking on behalf of men here because I don't give a fuck. So I think the sexiest thing to a man is confidence, truly. So, and we keep nailing this, like we keep hammering it in, but that's totally what it is. So if you are, I'm again out of personal experience, if you're going to be like, oh, should I wear this? Should I wear this? Or is it too showy? Is it too like bleh, bleh, bleh? Then that immediately fucking takes away the sexiness out of it. So that's why I say sometimes maybe it's all right to like just never mind people's opinions. You know what I mean? Like I know, but at the same time, it's like building a conversation with your partner to see what they're comfortable with and what they love and what is sexy to them. There's a fine line there, right? Because I'm telling you from experience, like if you question what you're going to do and you expect that it's too much or it's uncomfortable, then you're going to attract it. So
yeah, and someone will say it. And
yes, to mirror it back to you. They'll be like, because you're thinking it and you're expecting it, so somebody will say it, right?
You want to wear that's a bit short, that skirt. Oh yeah, I knew it. I know.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I should probably change it.
Yeah, and for our experiences, Tony and I, it's usually the women.
It's usually the women.
My favorite is when I'm at the bar and women come up to me and like pull my skirt down for me. It's like, man, I'll fucking punch you.
Really? I think
I'm not gonna actually, but it's like, get the fuck away from me.
Then you want to hike it up.
That's what I started doing, right? It's like, oh, okay, sure, I'll pull my skirt down, but these are coming out more. If that's the way you want it.
I don't like that. It's always women. Yeah, no men. Well, hopefully men wouldn't touch us like that. But
yeah, it's true.
No man's gonna say, hey man, I wish you'd wear your skirt a little longer. Well, let's not go into religion and everything, but no man in this realm that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what, though? That might be some way some of our listeners are healing, because I did come from the more religious side, right? Where my skirts had to be a certain length, or he didn't like it. Or so if you're coming from that and you're trying to break out into who you really are and try to figure that out, it could be baby steps, right? So just maybe it's a pair of nylons under your long skirt it's the first time you've ever worn lacy stockings. I don't know, just try something. Could be hidden the first time, but then he'll see it, right? So it might be the way you try it.
That's actually a really good idea.
Fishnets that are with your boots and your long skirt, but you know you're sexy under there, and then that ups your confidence level and those
That's
little
right.
things, right?
And you know what, another good piece of advice for expressing sexiness when you're not comfortable with it is starting with your posture.
Yes.
You know, your posture and the way you carry yourself, even if you're still wearing the same old clothes, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? That leads to our last question, which is not about relationships, but it's why red lipstick? Red lipstick, red.
Well, that's a good question. I think we've touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, we have. That means you didn't listen to all our podcasts. But
you stupid bastards.
that is so telling. Fine. Go find the one that it says out.
Yeah. No, that's actually a good question that we can repeat it till the cows come
We
home.
will repeat it.
For me, okay, well, here, I'll get really honest about it. When I was younger, I was what's it called? I wasn't like necessarily a huge musical fan, but I guess a little bit, but I was more of like appearance fan of Gwen Stefani. And anyone who knows Gwen Stefani, especially from back in the day, it's like she always rocked the long blonde hair and the blonde hair and the red lipstick, right? That was her thing. And I'm like, fuck, like that's totally appealing to me. But I just never went to that level with it, unless I was in dance, because in dance we had to express, or we had to like.
You're allowed to do it, right?
You're allowed to put on the intense makeup and everything. So for me it started with like a desire to like emulate a little bit, and then getting more comfortable with that as I got older. And you know, it actually for me started as like dabbing on lipstick, so not going like full bore and just going like a little bit of color. And yeah, so that's where the desire started. The reason why I like to do it is because I'm very pale and I have blonde hair, so I think it pops and it looks nice, and if you wear it right, it enhances your features. And for me, it's a sign of femininity. Not that I need this to be feminine, it's just a sign of like that confident boost to me.
It is.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Red lipsticks is a confident boost if you can get there.
If you can get there. And like I said, if you want to play around with it, you dab it on a little bit and make it a little less intense like this.
Absolutely. Start with a gloss. Start with a gloss.
Yeah. How about you? Why red lipstick for you?
I hated red lipstick before, and it'd be like, I don't like red lipstick on myself. And then of course you'd get someone that says, yeah, it's not really your color, right? And then finally it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. And so I would do exactly that. I would wear it to a mall when people I didn't know weren't around, and I just went out and did it. And then I just started wearing it a lot more because I like it and I think it's sexy. And then I think I read an article that said most men think red lipstick is the sexiest. They just like, men like red lipstick. So I'd be curious if we're right. Let's hear what our listeners think.
Yeah.
And then why red lipstick for us? It all goes back to really our shaman picked the name for us and now we're on our own, but it worked because we're sassy. And I also, if you want to go back to the origin story for me, it was when I watched the TikTok that said, if you're spiritual, you can't wear red lipstick, or dress the way I dress, you have to dress in a certain way. And that was a fuck it moment for me, right? So
It's almost like a sign of rebellion.
it is. It's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's a judging thing again. So maybe that was a reaction. I don't think every day fuck it to the woman that said that when I put it on now. It truly, truly is a part. I wear red lipstick more than any other color because it is it's a confidence boost for me on a day and everything. And then now it's our name, right? Obviously that it's who we are. So do you and I wear red lipstick every single moment of the day? No, but it is definitely us.
That's right. Well,
Sassy.
here's another reason for me. My boyfriend, if anyone knows him, he dresses like a wild man. He's crazy. Like he dresses such bright colors and like exciting and very cool and very like check it out, I'm here, right? Very Leo. And
Very awesome. I love
he's
it.
got a huge ass mohawk. And it's just so badass. So I'm like, I gotta keep up to this dude.
And I bet he likes red lipstick.
You know what? He does. I hope. I should ask, okay?
Yeah, I don't think many men don't.
Take our own advice. It's like, yeah, I should probably like get to know that.
There's not many men that don't, I don't think, especially if we talk about they like red lipstick. And
That's
we
true.
want some red lipstick tips. Maybe we'll put that up somewhere one time, right? We do have ones that work better. And
You know what? One of my girlfriends, I was like, you should totally try red lipstick sometime because you would look so nice with it. And I'm like, you're also blonde and like you can totally make that pop, right? And she said that I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's like, oh, I couldn't do that because my lips are too big. And I was like, bitch, please. If I had lips that big, I would have been wearing this for years already. Like it's beautiful, right? It's
comfort. And there's so many shades of red. There is no one that couldn't wear red. It's my
That's
opinion.
right. And you know what? Like that would be something new for her. That would totally be out of her comfort zone. So I get it. But I was like, just play around with it a bit and see. Maybe you'd like it, right?
Play around. Absolutely. Took me a while because you have to get it on or you find the right one, but it's a huge confidence booster for sure.
Totally. Well, was that the last question?
Yep. Oh, sorry. I got to answer the door. 1 second. I'm going to pause.
Sure.
There might be a little glitch there because Tony had to pause for something. Station identification.
Don't do glitches here.
There's no glitches. Wow, that's our first. I hope. Well, wear red lipstick. You won't regret it. Practice.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the theme of what we've been talking about this whole particular one. Push yourself a little bit. Don't lose who you are. We're not asking you to become someone else, but really dig deep and see what can be the superwoman that you are. And it's okay to wear something that pleases someone else. Is there, and I think that's where women have to go, is there something he would wear that would please you? And are you asking him to not be who he is? So if he wears a suit or whatever, does that diminish him? We would never think that way ever, right?
Do you know what though? I think women are more like, I don't know about you, but it's like I don't ask or expect my man to be anything other than who they are. And I wonder if that's because as women, we kind of are like, we'll be the ones to change. You just kind of do your thing and I'll be okay with it. Like, I think that's more what it's like for me. So, you know what? Fuck this. When I get off of here, I'm going to start telling some men what to do.
Well, that's how I thought, because I often dress the way he likes. And he's like, well, what would you like me to wear? And I'm like, yeah, women don't express that enough. And I, and I think I don't want you to change totally, but it's like, no, you know what? A long sleeve black shirt's really hot. I like that. You don't have to wear it all the time, but how about suspenders? And so you might be surprised. He might be willing. You don't have to ask him to change his style, but it's the same thing. Maybe we just don't go there.
Yeah.
We
It's,
just
you know
don't
what? Maybe that can be our next podcast where it's like, we go into the realm of what men can do, how men can make their women happy, right?
Yes.
And get like play around with it a little bit.
Absolutely. The next one we do together. We have a guest next week. Tune in for that. It's gonna be exciting.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah,
have
that
her
is
show.
really
She's
exciting.
gonna be on our show. We will prep it a little for you, but a guest next week you don't want to miss.
She's going to be, she's somebody who expresses confidently their
Yes, and is
sexiness.
vivacious and full and wears what she wants to wear, and you'll love it. So
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing. Rosalind is coming on.
We
and
also
Blue-
have
Mhm,
our link tree if
mhm.
you want to check out our offerings, right?
Yep.
And Tony, what's the address on that again?
linktr.ee/red lipstick babes, or highly recommended. Go to our TikTok or
Mhm.
Instagram sites and or Facebook, and our links are all there too. You can just hit on it and it'll take you there to all the things that we do offer.
That's right.
That's how you can ask questions and do things like that, because we don't actually read the comments on the we're not
Yeah.
lying. We do not read the comments on podcasts. So
No, we
Don't.
don't because we're just doing our thing here. And if you like it, if you don't like it,
there's 925 million podcasts out there. Go find another one.
yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. Well, that was fun.
That was. And hey, if you're listening to this and you have questions, even if they're ridiculous or like funny, send them our
Yeah.
way.
We should do this every once in a while for sure. It's fun, right? And then what do we say? We say we help you choose vibrant and find your.
Yeah.
Oh, can I swear on here? I think I swear on here all the time. Why wouldn't I? Find your fucking joy.
Yeah. Choose vibrant, find your fucking joy. And we're
I
gonna aid you in that process, hopefully.
Yeah, and hopefully this helped you want to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Life's too fucking short not to, right?
That's right. And you know what? Step out of your comfort zone. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you never know. You might have a new experience that shifts you.
And talk to your partner. Listen and let him listen. You never know.
That's right. Mwah.
We're out.
Well, hello.